There are a lot of food delicacies in the world, and some could be very dangerous. Any form of tainted food can be fatal. However, some meals must be prepared with the utmost care to prevent serious diseases or even death. While some of these foods are unique delicacies that can be challenging to find around the globe, others are typical pantry or dry goods storage mainstays. Welcome to our channel, World's Best and Worst. This video will talk about the world's most dangerous food and how you can prepare them for consumption. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content like this. If you're ready, let's start with the first one, Sannakji. At number 1, we have Sannakji. Live baby octopus tentacles are cut into smaller pieces, seasoned, and served immediately as the Korean dish known as Sannakji. People with an adventurous taste consume the octopus while they are still squirming and writhing on the plate, which is a highly dangerous game. Suction pads on the tentacles maintain suction long after the octopus is severed, so diners must devour the meal before the tentacles stick to the roof of the mouth. If it's not eaten quickly, the tentacles can attach to your mouth and throat and cause you to choke to death. Some people have choked and died from eating or attempting to eat Sannakji, making it a dangerous meal. Elderberries are at number 2. Elderberries are native to Canada and are commonly used in jams, wines, syrups, pies, and supplements. They are safe for consumption if they are fully ripe and properly cooked. However, elderberry leaves, twigs, and seeds have high concentrations of cyanide-producing glycoside, also known as cyanogenic glycoside, which can be fatal. If elderberries are not fully ripe or properly stained when processed, they can cause vomiting, nausea, and severe diarrhea. You would need to consume up to 5 glasses of glycoside to put your life in danger. Still, if consumed in large doses, just a cup of elderberry products that would have been prepared incorrectly may bring serious illness and even death. At number 3, we have Hakarl. Hakarl is a typical Icelandic delicacy of Greenland shark flesh that is cured and hung to dry for about 3 and 5 months. The high urea and trimethylamine oxide concentrations in the shark's flesh must be neutralized through this process. Since Greenland sharks lack a urinary tract, their skin and flesh serve as a filter for waste and poisons. The combination of chemicals serve as a natural antifreeze for the shark, shielding it from the icy northern seas. Still, because the chemicals are so concentrated, just a few bites of uncured fresh meat can make people feel extremely intoxicated. If this food is consumed in large amounts, neurological consequences, gastrointestinal irritation, convulsions, and can even lead to death. Casu Marzu is number 4. The Casu Marzu is a sort of cheese produced in Sardinia that is so bad it can seriously sicken you. It is left exposed to allow maggots to descend on the cheese and lay their eggs. Maggots cause the cheese to ferment when the eggs hatch. The larva in this cheese, which should be noted, can eat holes through your intestines if you consume it while it still contains larvae. To consume this cheese, you have to ensure that no larvae are left in it because the larva can severely harm you and even lead to death. Moving on, we have red kidney beans at number 5. In addition to being high in plant-based protein, fiber, and important vitamins and minerals, red kidney beans are also high in phytohemagglutinin, which is a toxic type of lectin when consumed raw or undercooked. Phytohemagglutinin can damage the walls of your intestine and may affect how it absorbs nutrients. Red kidney bean poisoning symptoms can include headaches, vomiting, stomach pain, and diarrhea. For dried red kidney beans to be safe, the proper preparation is to soak them for several hours and then boil them for at least 10 minutes. As a matter of fact, the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, states that red kidney beans are more poisonous when cooked than when eaten raw. The FDA also states that heating dried red kidney beans at a temperature below boiling for less than 10 minutes can actually increase the toxicity of the red kidney beans 5-fold. For number 6, we have blood clams. Blood clams are a special type of delicacy cooked and consumed in China and are also known as cockles. Generally, blood clams are dangerous because the clams frequently harbor viruses that can cause dysentery, hepatitis A, and typhoid. They are usually harvested in polluted water, making them the breeding ground for various diseases. Shanghai outlawed blood clams in 1988 after 31 fatalities and more than 300,000 cases of hepatitis A, making it one of the world's most dangerous foods. That did not stop sellers from selling the delicacy, even in Shanghai. Ackee fruit is at number 7. Eating ackee fruit, the national fruit of Jamaica, is a murderous game. An unripe ackee fruit contains a poison called hypoglycin. Because of this, the bright red fruit has to be fully ripe and allowed to open naturally on the tree before it can be safely consumed. Only the cream-colored fleshy pulp around the seeds should be consumed. This fleshy pulp looks a little like brains. Never consume any of the highly toxic black seeds or the pink flesh. Wrong preparation of the ackee fruit may bring serious sickness. This illness is known as Jamaican vomiting sickness, which can lead to coma or death. The ackee and saltfish is the Jamaican national dish, so the Jamaican locals are not scared of taking the risk to eat this meal, even though it is known as one of the world's most dangerous food. For number 8, we have dragon's breath. With 1.6 million Scoville heat units, the Carolina Reaper was widely regarded for a long time as the hottest pepper in the world. However, Dragon's Breath's new release raised the temperature to 2.48 million. Are you wondering how hot the Dragon Breath pepper is? Well, a jalapeno only has 8,000, and a habanero pepper has 350,000 heat units. So you can do the math, because Dragon Breath is hotter than both peppers mentioned. The capsaicin in the pepper is what makes it hot. Taking too much of this pepper can burn your insides, close your airways, and cause anaphylactic shock. Cassava is at our number 9. Cassava is a tropical root crop similar to taro and yam and is often used to make puddings like tapioca, chips, cakes, and juice. But its leaves and roots can produce deadly cyanide. In fact, cassava has to be properly cooked before canning, eating, or serving to prevent poison. Bitter and sweet cassava are the two main varieties of cassava. Sweet cassava contains low cyanogenic glycosides of about 50 milligrams or kilograms, and other requires cooking to reduce the cyanide content to non-toxic levels. On the other hand, bitter cassava contains more toxins and must be grated, soaked, and cooked properly before consumption. At number 10 is the Namibian bullfrog. Although frog legs are considered a delicacy in France, some African nations prefer to consume the entire animal, particularly if it's as fat and juicy as the Namibian bullfrog. The only drawback is that this amphibian contains a lot of toxins meant to ward off predators, including you. It has been discovered that the toxins, highly concentrated in young frogs that haven't mated, can lead to kidney failure or even death. Last on our list is larb. The unofficial dish of Laos, larb or lab is a raw meat salad. Generally, the choice of meat is left up to the cook's whim, which, as you might imagine, occasionally results in issues. In 2021, raw wild boar meat in Thailand caused a fatal infection of Streptococcus suis, killing 24 individuals. Meanwhile, about 12 people in California contracted trichonellosis in 2016 after consuming raw wild boar larb. Victims who unintentionally ate worms in the meat displayed stomach pain, vomiting, and diarrhea, all symptoms of the infection. Consuming raw meat of any kind has risks, including the possibility of getting rabies if the meat comes from an animal exposed to the disease. That's it. These are a few of the world's most dangerous food. Drop a comment below and let us know if you've ever tried any of the dangerous foods we mentioned. Tell us which ones you think you want to try. Do not forget to subscribe to World's Best and Worst if you enjoyed this video and would love to see more content like this.